Right then, lads and lasses, how we're doing? What a detailed video I've got for you today, just on our fantastic two young, promising fullbacks, both English as well, homegrown. I am so happy that Newcastle United have got two fantastic talents like this at the club. We know that they were both for the future, but my God, can they do a job now? And by the way, before we say anything, yet again, the background, all of my Newcastle stuff is in there. This is probably the last video here. I am moving house, like I said. So this is probably the last video here, but let's get straight into it. Now, I want to start with Tino Livramento, a man who many people have said this is going to be Kieran Trippier's successor. And by all means, I do agree with that. But when Tino Livramento was at Southampton, I always thought to myself, he is fantastic defensively, right? Of course, his injury record, that's something he's staying clear of at the minute, and thank God he is. But his defensive one-on-one tackling rate is absolutely fantastic. I was thinking to myself, if he's going to be the successor of Kieran Trippier, is he going to be a Kieran Trippier? Fantastic defensively and outstanding offensively. Now, Tino Livramento at Southampton wasn't the best offensively. I mean, by all means, yesterday at Old Trafford, we seen what he could do offensively. Getting stuck into them tackles, man. This is what I'm loving from Newcastle United. And I'll pick it up on a second as well. The passion and determination from these players, which Eddie Howe is injecting into them, that they play in this system. Tino Livramento won the ball back. He strived forward, took it past, 3-4 Manchester United players, played Miggy in. Fantastic touch from Miggy and a goal. Unbelievable stuff. Like I said, we've all been screaming for these players to start, especially Lewis Hall and Valentino Livramento in itself. And many people have been questioning our transfer window. I mean, lads, come on. Did we know Tonali was going to get banned? Did we know Harvey Barnes was going to get injured? If we had them players, it would all be different. Do you know what I mean? It's just, and I don't like saying this word because I feel like it's a get out of the situation word, but it genuinely is unlucky. Like, seriously, it is. But Tino Livramento has had 2 starts for Newcastle United, of course, both in the Carabao Cup. Both times he's picked up man of the match, and deservedly so. Man City had Jack Grealish in the back pocket. He is so capable of defending the ball. Honestly, he's a fantastic defender, and especially we've seen that against Man United as well. Who was it? Who was on his side again? Garnacho, that was it, sorry. And Tino Livramento, you would think for, I don't want to say a skinny lad, but of course he's not the bulkiest, is he? He's a very, very strong lad, and he seems to be very broad-shouldered and can stand on his feet well. Very well-balanced lad. But yet again, Valentino Livramento, of course, plays for England's under-21s as well, making a great account of himself. And I cannot wait for both of these lads, and we'll get on to Lewis Hall in a second because I've got so much detail on him, honestly. But I can't wait for both of these lads to be starting in the Premier League. I mean, by all means, they are putting up a proper fight on there. Of course, Kieran Trippier, Dan Burn as well, a little bit less, but Kieran Trippier has nailed on as one of the first teams on the team sheet, isn't he? I mean, he's got everything, yet again, defensively and offensively, fantastic, a fantastic captain, makes a great account of the players, which is what I love myself. I really like how he presents the players. In the USA Open too, I was seeing the Bruno mic, Bruno Mike and Bruno Cam, we heard the audio. Kieran Trippier wasn't like, oh, let's go thrash them in a pre-season game. He's like, let's make a good account of ourselves in front of our foreign fans, and we need to expose ourselves too. That was fantastic. That's what I really like from Kieran Trippier. And hopefully, Valentino Livramento can follow up on his footsteps because, oh my God, Kieran Trippier may not be the best right back of all time, but he's honestly got to be one of the most well-spoken leaders, one of the most experienced. He's genuinely probably got to be one of the best right backs to learn off whatsoever. He's not arrogant. He'll give him all the support he needs. As we've seen, he's done it with Sandro. What a lovely man Kieran Trippier is, man. Fantastic for Livramento to learn off someone like that. And as we know, that is one of the reasons why he came to Newcastle. Now, what I like about both players, of course, in Tino and Lewis Hall, is that they have something what every single team would love, what every single team wants attributes of out of their players. It's their fantastic versatility. Of course, Livramento can play right back, left back. We've seen him drift forward up the pitch against Man United yesterday. But Lewis Hall, that man could play basically anywhere along the left-hand side. He can play left wing, as we've seen against Man City. For Chelsea in their 5-back formation, he played left wing back, left centre mid. He can play anywhere in the centre mid position. I think he played right centre mid for the under-21s or under-23s a couple of times. But of course, Lewis Hall is another youth England international. What a fantastic scouting team we have now, man. Dan Ashworth, the rest of us, hats off. One thing I absolutely adore about Lewis Hall, though, and it might sound a bit daft, but just bear with us, I love how he presents himself as a person. This lad has just turned 19 as of, 1 or 2 months ago? Just turned 19, moving from the bottom of the country to the top of the country, right? And this is going to sound daft, right? But just bear with us. He speaks so well in the media. He's such a well-spoken lad for his age. He's not, being parented by his mum or dad. Of course, I went to the training ground with him when he signed, but he can do things. He's got his own mind. He looks like he's his own very experienced and very own sensible lad. And I know it's hard with players nowadays that collect the wages, say all this money. They get brainwashed by the girls, the cars, the nightclubs. Lewis Hall is the complete opposite of that. He's a well-grounded lad, a well-spoken lad. And what I actually noticed since I've been visiting the training ground as well, many other players like, I don't know, who for example, Tino Livramento, and of course this can be because players haven't got cars sorted or anything yet. Livramento gets a taxi back from the training ground. Many other players get drove by the friends. Of course, there is a few driving problems in the team with Miggy, Joelinton and Trips. But the thing is that this sounds daft, but I love this about Lewis Hall. He's 19, he's driving himself to training here and there and back. That might not seem a lot to people, but to me, it makes him such a well-grounded lad. Like, honestly, I love Lewis Hall. I love Lewis Hall. Another one who had a fantastic performance against Manchester United yesterday, and what I loved about Lewis Hall, when he's got the ball, yet again for a young lad, which I love to keep using that narrative, but he is such a young, well-grounded lad. He's got the ball and he's not doing it as this, he's panicking and he's just passing it anyway. He looks so composed on the ball. Like, he looks like he's got such a fond head on him. And I'm really loving Newcastle United at the minute. Everything is going absolutely perfect. I'm seriously loving this. Of course, a goal to top that performance off as well. I mean, he looked so giddy when he was celebrating there. He deserves that so much. I seriously want Lewis Hall to succeed at this club so much. And one thing about Lewis Hall, actually, I might as well add a little bit of news in here. Lewis Hall, of course, we've got Chelsea in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup away at Stamford Bridge. People have been asking me on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, can Lewis Hall play in the quarterfinals? The answer is no. I don't know exactly what it is because I believe if it's an initial loan move, you can play in cup, but I don't know, it's complete. Football's rules is just all over the place at the minute, but I think it has to be, it has to be allowed by Chelsea to let him play. I mean, I can probably guess 110% they're not going to let him play. I don't know why they would. I don't know why they'd want to bolster their chances of going out the cup. I honestly don't know, but Lewis Hall. And another thing about Lewis Hall and Chelsea as well, I'm going on a complete tangent here, but this is what I love about them. When we played Chelsea, we beat them 1-0 via a Joe Willock goal last season. The thing I loved about Lewis Hall, he stood out in that Chelsea team. I was thinking to myself, who's this young blonde-headed lad who's 5 foot, whatever he is? He's playing at left wing back. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's playing, Mateo Kovacic. These pretty decent, well-renowned, world-known players. And Lewis Hall standing out as a left wing back, a young lad, in front of all these veterans. Like, hats off to him. He really took my eye. And I never noticed him that much, but he took my eye in that game. And I was chuffed when we signed him. Seriously, I was. The one thing that does it with me for Lewis Hall is he's a Geordie. He's a lifelong Newcastle United fan. His dad's a Newcastle United fan. His brother's a Newcastle United fan. It's always the icing on the cake, isn't it? When the player you have supports your team. They're going to give everything, just like Dan Burn, Sean Longstaff, Matty Longstaff back in the day. Who was a player? I've been saying this. I really want Matty Longstaff back. You know what I mean? He's not had the best of careers recently since he has been playing. I do believe, is he let go from Newcastle? I know he's injured and he's getting treated by the club, but after that, is he let go from Newcastle? I mean, if Eddie Howe can improve some of the players he has, he can improve him as well. But anyways, that was just picking up on our two fantastic English full-back talents who I am so excited to see come into the first team. And bearing in mind, Lewis Hall could be giving Dan Burn a run for his money. I still would 1000% expect Dan Burn to start against Arsenal on Saturday. Of course, he hasn't played against Manchester United for the full 90 minutes. That was, of course, he's going to be more trusted of Eddie Howe because Eddie Howe loves his familiar faces no matter what happens, no matter what was the scoreline. But there we have it. That was our two fantastic talents recapped. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this analysis and did enjoy this video, smash the like button if you haven't already and you've just found me now. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. I've been Geordie Josh. Go and enjoy your day, lovely, lovely people. And thank you for the support. I love you all.